Hello everyone, it's Cable. Today I'm here again talking about another underrated perk. Today I'm going to be talking about THWACK. So what does THWACK do? THWACK is a perk from the Skull Merchant that whenever you hook a survivor, it'll activate. And whenever you kick a pallet, break a wall, I think that's it, the survivors that are 32 meters within the range will scream and then reveal their aura. Now, why is this an underrated perk? Why is this good? Let's talk about it. So, the reason I think people don't use this perk that often is just because of power creep and it gets outclassed. Very unfortunately, because I quite like the design of this perk, it just gets outclassed by other things. Barbecue and chili somewhat does what it does, but better. Discordance gives better info. There's just a ton of info perks that just do better. That, you know, other perks, or sorry, that this perk just doesn't have. You know, it only works once after you hook a survivor. Other perks do that too, but like you're not even guaranteed to get value to THWACK. The fact that it's an aura perk means survivors who use Calm Spirit can obviously counter it. But I do think there are some implications of the perk, like some uses of it that are why I'm making this video, that maybe give it a reason to use over other perks. So, the biggest one is the fact that survivors scream. Whenever you kick a pallet, within the pallet's range, mind you, so it's not 32 meters of your terror radius, it's not your terror radius, it's not, you know, it's not related to anything other than the location of the pallet. So, sadly, this means that you have to have a pallet or a wall that are around survivors, which sometimes can be tricky. But if in certain small maps and in certain pallet condensed / wall condensed whatever areas, or in other places, the fact that you get aura reading within 32 meters, which is very good, by the way. 32 meters isn't crazy, but it's pretty good. And the fact that they scream. The aura reading alone is quite nice, but the screaming is the best thing. When survivors scream, they'll interrupt their action. If they're doing a totem, if they're doing a gen, if they're doing whatever, they'll scream and it'll interrupt them. What this means is if they're trying to do like a totem, if they're like cleanse a hex, if they're trying to do a pig reverse bear trap box search, it'll interrupt them, which is why I'm playing pig today, because you can be very aggressive and very mean with trying to force survivors off of your boxes or whatever. Now, sadly, you can't see the auras of boxes anymore since the most recent update, or yeah. No, not the most recent, but one before it. But I still think you can use THWACK pretty well. So, THWACK probably best synergizes with perks like Lethal Pursuer. Sorry, I usually have the perks already set here. I don't know why I didn't. So normally THWACK synergizes with other aura reading perks like Lethal Pursuer for better aura range. It can synergize with perks like Barbecue and Chili. I said Barbecue outclasses this perk, but they can actually work in unison because you can use Barbecue to see where they are. You can get right up to them and then force them to scream and see where they all are for a couple of seconds. So even though it may get outclassed by certain aura reading perks, it can be used in conjunction with those aura reading perks as well. It can obviously be used with any kicking pallet related perks, you know, Brutal Strength to kick them a bit faster, maybe Spirit Fury since you're going to be kicking pallets a lot, any pallet related perk, and it can be used with stealth perks. So let's say you do know where the survivors are and you want to go to them and use THWACK. Well, that alone is where stealth can come into play, where you can make it to them and then use THWACK. But let's say you do already use THWACK. Let's say you use THWACK to get some info. You can use that info and the fact that you see their aura for 4 seconds, and that's when you can use stealth to get right up to them without them even really knowing. The fact that they scream after you hook someone, they may know, but since this perk isn't used that often, it may throw them off. And so if you stealth, they may not know where you're coming from or what's going on or whatever. It may give you a lot of free hits. So it gets outclassed, but it can be used pretty well with other aura rating perks. It has certain killers on them, like super pallet kick heavy related killers like Nemesis, or killers that do really well with interrupting like Pig. It does well with stealth, so killers like Sadako or Wraith or Pig. And also the fact that it's not terror radius based, it's arranged around the pallet, which means you can proc it while you're in stealth. So all of that gives it some pretty nice niche moments where it can really help you. Its best build, so this build here is probably not one of the strongest builds you'll ever see, but if we're making the build around THWACK, this is probably its best. Pain res because it's pain res. Surveillance to understand where the survivors were doing the gen, because pain res will let you know with surveillance. And then you use THWACK to get to them, or you get to them because you know where they are, you know what gen they're on. You use THWACK to see where they are, and then you use Monitor stealth up on them, because Monitor with Pig is very nice. But for today's video, I'm gonna be using Corrupt. I'm gonna use Grim Embrace, and then I'm gonna be using Monitor. So, wait, Corrupt? What the fuck? Barbecue. So, I'm gonna be using Barbecue and THWACK because that example I talked about, I do want to showcase how Barbecue and THWACK can be used together somewhat. And then I'm going to be using Grim Embrace because when I hook a survivor, I'll see them with Barbecue, I'll go off, Grim Embrace will activate, and it'll maybe make the survivors run around kind of sporadically. Because they can't be doing gens, they'll have to maybe run around a bit or stall or whatever. While they're doing that, I can use THWACK to see where they are, and then I can use Monitor to stealth up on them. As for add-ons don't particularly matter, but maybe for Pig's case, we could just use the regular chase add-ons. Those are fine. If you want to, you could use Jigsaw Sketch with the annotated plan. It doesn't matter. And then we'll use some Bloody Party streamers. So hopefully we get a better map. All right. Well. Second game now. We're on Badham. Even worse map than it was before. I'm trying a different build. I exchanged Monitor for Corrupt and Barbecue for Brutal Strength. Corrupt is a little bit better. I don't know why I'm walking to my Corrupted gens, by the way. Corrupt is a little bit better than Monitor. And Brutal Strength will just synergize a little bit more with THWACK. Because Barbecue and THWACK can be used in conjunction. But I figured using those together would make Barbecue shine a little bit more than THWACK, and I really wanted to show off what THWACK can do just alone. So I really only have a couple of passive slowdown perks that won't really overlap with THWACK, and then I have Brutal Strength just to make pallets a little less annoying and difficult to deal with. Those are those hits around these tiles as Pig that are pretty unavoidable for them. Unfortunately, if I get a super fast down, Corrupt will go away. They didn't have this super strong pallet here, unfortunate for them. We drop down to avoid that window and then avoid her getting to another. She is balanced. Yeah, we hit her before she gets to do anything. Fuck off. I meant to put a trap, but I was hitting space and M2 at the same time, forgive me. I'm just going to take her down here and then drop her and then put a trap. They're on the gen inside of this place. So maybe if they're greedy, they'll still be on it by the time I get there. They'll drop a pallet, I'll kick it, and I'll know where everyone is. Because this is a pretty like condensed building. It's like tight. So if they drop a pallet, I'll know where that person is. And I'll know where everyone else is, provided they actually scream, which they should. And if they don't, then I'll know they're kind of far away and know, there's no risk for them saving anytime soon. That's the kind of strong info that THWACK gives. That'll let me know if everyone's around and where they all are, or if no one's around and if, they're just not going to be getting the save or anything. Only unfortunate thing, however, is that she didn't drop a pallet, so. She's going to be running away, yeah, but we should not still get this hit because Pig sucks. So I'm going to immediately go into my power again. And she's going to, again, just try to book it, but that doesn't work. So now, remember, THWACK works with walls, so we'll break this wall, and I'm going to see all of them. I'm going to stealth so she doesn't know that I'm here, and then I'm going to drop right on her. If she had heard me, then she would have known, you know, hey, don't go that way. Her terror radius is getting louder. This survivor, for the third time in a row, this survivor is going to take this vault, and we're going to go to this tile. But, again, I'm Pig. I should be able to get a hit. She'll go to this one, and I should still be able to get a hit. Unless they just keep running away. That's smart of them. That's how you counter the Pig. You just run away from her power. But, yeah. With the buff speed from the crouching and whatever, you don't have to use your you don't have to use it only when you get to a tile. You can sometimes preemptively use it to hit them before they get anywhere. Now I heard Nancy getting rid of her trap. Sadly she got rid of it, so it seems like it only took 1 or 2 goes. I have no idea where she is right now, but we're gonna see if we can figure it out by using THWACK. Maybe she's still around, maybe she didn't leave. Well, she's over there. She's injured. We could stealth up to her. Never mind. Someone was here with not only Calm Spirit, but also Distortion, because I didn't hear him or see him. That had to have just been that, right? Maybe he just wasn't in range. That could be the case, too. Because there's no way he's running both of those things. He could have just not been in range. That's very plausible. We stealthed up to this girl. We saw her. We knew she was still around because of THWACK, and we should get this hit. Perfect. I'm gonna put another trap on her. It doesn't matter who you trap, just use them for the stalling. And we're gonna see if we can figure out where anyone is. We know Jeff went that way, sort of, kind of. And we know they're not here because they did that gen. So they could be on one of these two. There she is. There's the Yui. This should be a pretty fast down. They don't really have a whole lot here. Is she just going to run to the corner? Yeah, I was watching out for that. Alright. She already has a trap on her. I'm not going to go bother breaking a wall or anything because I genuinely think it would just be a waste of THWACK. It doesn't stack. Like, you only get one use. Once you use it, it's gone. Even if you know, hook someone twice in a row without ever using it. But there's just no point in going back to that wall and breaking it. Because they're all going to be over here anyways. We're going to injure Nancy, but then we're going to ignore her. We don't want to tunnel her fully out of the game. We want to get a little bit of stall out of the traps. Because if we chase her, my traps aren't doing anything. But if we chase Jeff, for example, well, think about it. She has to be doing her traps right now. But Jeff has to be getting chased by me because he doesn't have a trap to be getting rid of, you know? That was a flashbang. We see exactly where he's going because of THWACK's 4 seconds of aura reading. Which honestly helped this could sound like copium to you guys, but that helped a little bit more than you would think because I could not hear him. Because he dropped the flashbang on me, I didn't hear where he was going at all. They just searched a box over there. I heard it go off. Was it the one in the basement? We're gonna down him. We're gonna put a trap on him. And what do we want to do? No, because this pallet's up right here. So we can break this and see if they're around. Because they should be, right? Perfect. I'm gonna stealth. And then we're gonna get to Nancy, and she's probably not gonna know where I am. She's camping that pallet. Okay, now she came this way. Jeff disconnected for some reason. But, okay. And for the umpteenth time, they're gonna use that window, but I'm gonna come around here. I didn't hear her vault it. Maybe she... Yeah, it looks like she hesitated because I wasn't fully around. Shame about Jeff disconnecting, but I think we're at a point in the match where it doesn't really make much of a change in the flow of how the game will go. This person is so weird to chase. Where are they? Who am I chasing? Please! It's Cheryl, but let me see her. I don't hear her at all. Like, I don't hear her breathing. I barely hear her footsteps. It's not even Cheryl. Is that blood? No, it's not blood. That's just Badham. So it is Cheryl. Jesus. Yep, drop this immediately. She is just holding forward and she's faster than me. Yeah, go ahead and rubber band a little bit. You know, just sprinkle on some seasoning. Oh my god, I started chase with her. If I have to chase this girl for 30 more seconds, I'm gonna scream. Her scratch marks are so weird. I saw her as I was falling because Pig kind of looks down when she drops now, so I couldn't tell if she was like inside of me. Now that she's injured, now we can actually hear her, but that's a okay, that was proof that she's just running without thinking. This Cheryl has no idea what she's doing, and she's still the best looper on their team. Oh my god. Yeah, finish all 3 of the gens that they were all individually working on. Because she ran me for that long. Go ahead and drop that. I'll know where she is, and then I'll see if there's anyone else. Good, that's info on Jeff. This door, this wall was broken from earlier, so we can cut him off a little bit. Perfect. I know I'm kind of just camping like a piece of shit. Oh wait, this is the bot. What am I... I forgot Jeff just disconnected. Dude, why is that Cheryl so difficult to chase? What was that? Like, you understand, I get that I didn't play that perfectly. Sometimes that just happens. But, hello? Can you imagine if THWACK worked from kicking gens too? That'd be quite nice. Sadly, it doesn't. But, that's fine. If it would work off of kicking gens, that would make it honestly a lot better. But, I have an idea. So we're going to do that. And because this wall is kind of close to them, we're going to see everyone right here. Nancy probably saw me. No, they didn't. They didn't hear me coming. I knew exactly where they were. I knew exactly where they were going. And they did not see me coming. Because I was stealthing. Now, this is someone who runs it perfectly. Bots are made to run it perfectly. But, like, why was that Cheryl running everything so perfectly? Okay, you can kind of, like, fuck with the AI and just make them do... I'm not getting into the right range for it, but... This pallet's just impossible to play around for bots. There's a way, like, you can genuinely do regular mind games. Like, you can do this, fake, and then go back. On super short pallets, or, you know, medium pallets, you can, but on the long one like that, you can't for some reason. I don't know why. It's kind of, I guess the range is just more awkward for this one. I'm not going to see anyone with flak here, because they're going to be far away. So it might have been a good idea to hold on to that, but that's fine. At this point, a lot of the walls and the pallets have been broken, and there's only one survivor, so we don't need to know exactly where they all are at all times now. We got the strongest portion of THWACK out of the way. We used THWACK to know where everyone was when there were 4 survivors alive. And now that there's only 3 survivors alive, now it's a little more chill. Now we don't have to worry about as much. The biggest thing about THWACK is that because they scream and reveal, you're gonna guarantee that unless they have both Calm Spirit and Distortion, that you can see them as long as they're in the range. And it's a pretty chunky range, and it hits everyone. There's no weird limitations on it. The only prerequisite is that you have to hook. But once you get that, it's pretty much always going to be guaranteed value, and you'll know exactly where they are. And the aura reading, the fact that there's aura reading, it's a bit of a budget eyeball ears. It'll kind of give you some decent info on where they're going. And that alone is enough to boost it up a little bit, because the aura reading will help you know, it'll help you a bit in a chase, like it did with the Jeff. When the Jeff dropped that flashbang on me, I had no idea where he was going, and because I could see his aura with THWACK, I did. The only reason I didn't know is because there was no way I was going to hear him, because he dropped the flashbang and it suppressed my ears. Because when they drop flashbangs, it like suppresses your audio in game. This person just decided to run a casual lap around all that. Now, how come the Nancy and the Cheryl are running at the same movement speed, but Nancy just got unhooked, so she has the 10% haste? Okay, fuck off. When you're on short loops, we can hit her with that, because she's not smart enough to run away. I'm still so confused. I've never seen someone fast fall from like the railing out that window on the top. Did I just see you through the fence here? You bright ass bitch. Did you guys see that? There was like a frame where I could see her bright ass clothing. Am I losing it? They're gonna be on this gen. See, but now if I had nowhere to hide, then I could see them. That's the only reason THWACK probably doesn't get used that much, because nowhere to, like, again, other perks kind of outclass it. You know, with THWACK you have to hook someone, and it's 32 meters and they scream, but you have to hook someone and you have to break a pallet or a wall. So there needs to be a dropped pallet or an unkicked wall. So nowhere to hide is just more consistent, but THWACK has benefits to it that I'm trying to showcase here that could give you maybe a reason to run it over something else. Okay, they're just trying to stealth gen me, so I'm gonna stealth up to them, see if I can interrupt them, and if they worked on it, which they did, if they're gone, I'll just kick it and stealth until they come back. Never mind, they just aren't here at all. No fucking way, dude. Are they really just not here? Okay. I know they're not on that gen, and I didn't hear or see anyone on that gen, but I could have just not been in the range. So yeah, nowhere to hide would help me a lot more than THWACK is here, but yeah, hopefully, again, it's not the best. An underrated perk doesn't necessarily make it a super strong, meta viable, you know, use this right now perk. I just wanted to shed a little bit of light to THWACK and show that, you know, you can use it. Like, there's a reason to use it, because right now it is one of the least used perks in the game. And on a killer like Pig, where interrupting survivors can be pretty good if they're doing like a jigsaw box or something. There you go, that can help, so. You know. So they were on that gen, but that's fine. No adrenaline or anything. People don't use adrenaline after it got nerfed. People really think it got that nerfed, huh? I mean, I guess it was a pretty hefty nerf, and Decisive Strike got buffed in the same update, so. It got brought back up to 5 seconds. I don't know why they decided to bring it back up to 5 seconds. because it wasn't a bad perk, but I guess maybe it wasn't used nearly as much. I don't know. I don't know what they said. I think they did say that they were gonna continue to like look at tunneling, and see if decisive strike was too strong or something. I don't know. I don't know. She gets that open, so I'm just gonna take my 3K. Never mind. 2K it is. I can't find Yui. I don't care about that person. Obviously, she's just gonna camp the gate, but I can't find Yui. Wait. Because... ah! Hey, look, she screamed. I know where she is. Does THWACK not work while survivors are on the floor? I don't fucking know. Alright, well, I'll close the hatch and go camp the exit gate. Unless this lady already crawled out. Yeah, make sure I rubber band 2 or 3 times before I get there. Just to make sure that she actually gets to crawl out. Okay, dude. Yeah, I love when I'm playing Survivor and I can just crawl away with my built-in base kit level 14 tenacity. Makes me crawl at 400% movement speed. And the killer just can't find me because I don't make noise on the floor. Alright, Brett. I'll just cut out this waiting portion. Well, that was boring. I couldn't find her, so I just had to sit in the exit gate so she couldn't get out. Broken key, but blood ember prayer beads. Why not just use the skeleton key? She had to be special. She had to be different. Prove thyself, built to last in a toolbox build. Overall, nothing that crazy from their side. They all seem to have pretty balanced shit. Natural gen jockey, this person with 14 exhaustion perks. This Cheryl was impossible to catch, by the way. She also had a skeleton key. Damn, double blood ember. That's annoying. Okay, well. Hopefully I showed off THWACK pretty decently. I'm bored. Zach, I'm gonna end stream. Do you want to just get in a call while I edit my videos? The black void of doom.